Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to draw a map of the world, a memory map. Now it's not going to look perfect, and that's not really the point of this. Okay, it's going to look a little bit rough, but you're going to be able to tell what it is. I'm going to show you a couple tricks that are going to help you along, help you to learn how to draw the continents roughly the right shape and label the oceans, etc. And as you practice, you'll get better and better at this. Okay? Now, what you want to start out with is sort of a guide. I want you to draw the equator and the prime meridian. And they cross, of course, and that gives you sort of a bullseye and a reference point of where to draw the rest of the continents. So we'll come over here. I'm going to draw what would be the prime meridian. You don't have to worry about it if it's really, really straight or not. This, of course, will be your equator. Now you can start wherever you want, but I recommend starting with Africa. And you'll notice that where the prime meridian and the equator cross, if you looked at a map, it's actually in the water, in the Atlantic Ocean. So when I start Africa, I'm going to make sure that where they cross is not touching on any land. I like to say that it crosses in the armpit of Africa, because it looks like an arm sort of bent, so that's where we will start. I don't want to make it too big, so I'll start here and I kind of draw just that first part of Africa like that, so I know that it's going to be in the water, okay? I like to draw the bottom part of Africa, so I know I'm making that part big enough. Finish out the top part of Africa, doesn't have to be perfect. Come down here and make what we call like the Horn of Africa. And actually, if you look on the map right here, we have, that's Lake Victoria. Okay, that's the source of the Nile River. I like to put that in sometimes because if you think about it, if you turn it this way, it kind of looks like a horse's head, right? Like his nose and his neck and his ears and his eye. So just kind of a way to make you know you're drawing the shapes well, okay? Now, right here, we're going to put in the Arabian Peninsula. And it looks kind of like a little baby's boot sort of a shape if you draw it the way I do. Just tuck it right in there like that. And come up here and up by like Israel and Syria, but we're going to leave that there for now, okay? If you do that Arabian Peninsula, come over and we're going to draw India, the subcontinent of India right there. Now when we come over to do Southeast Asia, and where Singapore, etc., and Vietnam, Cambodia are, it's not going to look the best shape in the world, but that's okay. I'll explain that a little bit later in class to you, okay? It's not going to look exactly like the map, but good enough. I'm going to come up here to draw what would be China. Come up here, and you're drawing down here. This peninsula is actually what we call the Kamchatka Peninsula, part of Russia, okay? Draw the rest of Russia roughly up in here. Now you can tell by the way I'm just drawing this line, it's not 100% accurate, okay? It's not exactly like the shape of the land. That's all right, okay? It's a start. It's a reference for us to get better and better at this. Okay, now I'm going to go back here, over by the Mediterranean Sea, and I'm going to draw the boot of Italy. That's the peninsula that looks like a boot. Okay, again, yes, I know we would have Greece and other areas around in here, but try to keep in mind this is just a simple way to draw this. The better you get with the practice that you'll be having more and more in class and on your own, it's going to look really good. So just sort of a practice run. Now I'm going to come over here, draw Spain. Spain slowly drifts up like that, the peninsula, of the Iberian Peninsula, okay? I'm going to draw the rest by Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, top of France. And if you look at how the Scandinavian Peninsula looks, kind of comes out like that, and then it kind of arches over, shaped roughly like this, with the Baltic Sea, and it looks roughly something like that. If you really wanted to put England in there, you know, feel free. A little England in there, okay? You don't have to though, I just added that for myself. Now, let's move on to Australia. Australia, simple little way to do that. Okay, it's off the Southeast Asia, roughly in this area. I just kind of make like a little U, and another little U, like an upside down U, and a U. And we sort of connect them in a way. That's our Australia. Antarctica, just draw shape of the Antarctica on the bottom, roughly drawn, okay? Now with South America, the trick I have with South America is we want to make sure we're being as accurate as we can where the equator and the prime meridian are, correct? Okay, so we want to make sure we know this equator goes, it's like I say, it slices off the top of South America. Keep that in mind. So I draw the top of South America to make sure it does that. I draw that shape. Some people say it's kind of like an ice cream cone. Not the best South America that I've drawn. I suppose we can make it a little bit bigger there, hey? I make mistakes too. Then let's start with North America. We can start with Florida, okay? Kind of go up the east coast a little bit for now. I'm going to come down, draw Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, and Central America. Come up. We draw Baja California, up to drawing in Alaska, okay? Again, no, I realize it's not perfect. I could draw 10 of these, and by I get to the 10th one, it's going to look great, okay? I'm showing you an example of a quick way to do it. You always got to keep that in mind, because you guys are going to get down on yourselves at first. This doesn't look right, this isn't perfect, oh my God. That's all right, okay? I know I keep repeating that, but I repeat it for a reason, okay? Now, we want to come across here more with the, up in Canada, draw, of course, Hudson Bay, right? Y'all know the Hudson Bay, you remember that from 5th grade, you probably talked about the explorers. Come up here and draw, and kind of taper off into the rest of North America. Okay? Now, we got to label this stuff, right? So, let's start with the continents. North America, South America, Antarctica, can't forget Antarctica. When you guys start labeling your maps and on tests or quizzes, a lot of people forget little Antarctica down here. Don't leave those penguins out, right? Slide over to Australia. Okay. Africa. The largest continent is Asia. And Europe. Okay? Not too bad. 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's label our oceans, okay? Atlantic. Ocean. Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean is over here. And of course, as you know, this is a flat map. If it was a globe, it would go all the way around, so we know that the Pacific Ocean is also over here. Might as well label that over there. Okay, 2 more to go. Indian Ocean. And the Arctic Ocean. Right? You also want to label the equator. And the prime meridian. Okay. Also, when we start to get into our labeling a little bit more through the week, we want to make sure we add the tropics in here. Generally speaking, we make the tropics a dashed line. Come on. Okay. The first one, Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Next one, You can draw down here. Tropic of Capricorn. Okay? Now you want to remember which one goes where. How do you remember the Tropic of Cancer is here and Tropic of Capricorn is there? Use any trick that you can think of that works for you. The way I remember it, Cancer comes first in alphabetical order between the two, right? N comes before P. All right, that's how I remember this one is up here and that one is down there. All right, now later on we'll have other things to add to our maps, a compass rose, map label, map scale, things of that nature, okay? This isn't perfect. It doesn't look great. You guys are gonna do way better than me, okay? And practice will make perfect. This is a simple, quick way to drawing a memory map of the world. Okay? All right, let's get to work and be good.